Okay, folks, we're going to kind of start backwards on this. I'm going to unclamp the front and then flip it over and then do the back, as I didn't film any of the front being clamped. And it's been sitting here for several days since this. I got a 72 Martin D, I think it was a 28. I'll have to double check that. In for a neck reset and a refret. And the guitar is currently in two pieces, with the body inside humidifying, the wet sponge in a baggie, and the sound hole covered up. Because I found the center seam open from the bridge to the tail block. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. You saw me doing the sanding bit on this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the sanding dish, level all this out, as the goal is to get this slightly higher than your rims. And as you can see, I decided to go ahead and put my side supports through to the top, which should help eliminate any cracking occurring right underneath the kerfed lining. I'm going to go ahead and sand it, and then I'll flip it over and bring you back in at that point. Okay, I had to bring you back in for this. I wasn't sure it showed it on the plans, but most builders are accommodating from the sound hole to the tail block end of the guitar here, the top of the guitar, to make this portion flat. Now you have a domed top, and you're not going to be able to see it here in this drawing, I'm sure, but they even have it drawn with the top of the guitar being totally flat to about this point, which is just about an inch past where the sound hole is at. I went somewhat just a tad further. But then they show an actual dome or radius in this section from the sound hole past the bridge to the end. So I brought you back in to show you what I did to accomplish that. So this section is domed. The whole thing was domed basically, but I took this and I checked here, and I had a little bit of a rock. So I flattened it out with that, and then around. Did the same thing here, and then around, and then I grabbed this board that I actually use on necks to make sure a neck is flat as I'm carving, and I go that way and that way and that way, and so on a neck. But I went ahead and used it here as well, just to make sure that we shouldn't do that and try to talk. Just to make sure that we had that this was flat, and it is indeed. Yeah, it's flat now. Well, it's not entirely flat. You know, I measured it around here and it read flat. I may have a little more work to do, but I wanted to explain that part of it. So I'm just using these as guides, and then the ends of the spreader to measure with. So I had 7/8 there, and I had 7/8 here, and that's assuming, of course, that this is level on the guitar, and it was when I started out. I made sure that everything was the same. And then we had 7/8, little strong 7/8 there, not quite 15. I'm a little shy there, so maybe that's why I have that, yeah. And then down here, 15/16, and 7/8. So it's a little inconsistent. So I'm going to go, I have one with 80 on it as well. I'm going to grab the 80 block and do this again and get closer than, you know, I guess there is a possibility this isn't perfectly flat either. That's pretty good. But yeah, so it would suggest that I'm about a 1/16 of an inch off, which I will get closer than that. All right, the kerfed lining, basically it's got a nice little radius on it. This is blind kerfing, they call it. because a lot of times the kerf is, or most times in the old days, kerf was just facing out and it had the radius on this side, or it was just cut out of bevel. Now I didn't make this. I have made my own. I've made all of it up until this point. I keep mentioning this guy that I bought stuff from. One of the things I got from him was this kerf lining. This bundle plus the 2.5 or 3 pieces I put on the other side. Anyway, so you don't have to do this quickly as possible, but I just like to work as efficiently as possible. And I found that I can go around and kind of pre-cut my pieces all at once, just on one side. And I don't know how this is going to work. It doesn't look like it's going to work very good at all in the midst. I didn't use it on the other side. I'm just going to snap it. So I got a piece here. And if I snap that one, it's going to be short. So I'll go ahead and cut it a little long. I'll cut this on the bandsaw about halfway between the two. So, yep, big enough. This is going to snap when I put it in. As I attempt to put it in. It did. I need to come up a little bit more here. I don't know if that piece is long enough. Yeah, that piece is long enough to get in there. Actually, I don't have to do anything with that one. Okay, so that's cool. Whoops, that one's about halfway between pieces. All right, so I'm going to set a camera up over on the sander, and then I'm going to do all the sanding on this side at one time, all the fitting, which means running back and forth. This one is good too, and it is just, well, it's not really. Not short. Okay, so that's good. This needs a minuscule. We'll go ahead and fast forward through most, if not all of this. So yeah, I don't feel like this is a super important joint. I think the bracing is probably all I'm going to do with the hot hide glue, primarily because of the working time, and the fish glue I think is is the absolute second best of that. So it's the same principle, collagen, animal collagen. I've probably got my hands right in the way. Anyway, so I've just been doing a little, you know, a couple little beads like that. And again, my hands are probably in the way with the bottle. And I didn't do it yet, and I'll have to run off camera and do it because I like to have a wet paper towel handy. This fish glue is extremely gooey, much more so than hot high glue, and much more so than any other aliphatic resin type stuff like Tide Bond. Tide Bond you can just, you know, well, when I'm in my carpenter clothes, you can just wipe it on your clothes. And so I think that's plenty of, whoops. It's another thing it likes to do because it's got that radius. It likes to flip out of your hand. Looks pretty good. You need to get, I'm going to just run a little bit more right down the middle. What you don't want to do is get a lot of squeeze out underneath on the inside edge, you know, of the kerfing, where it makes it difficult. It's already broken, so it kind of makes it easier to get in there, but well, of course it's not going in the way it should because the camera's running. Well, got another piece. It fit. We saw it fit. That's interesting. Well, now it's broken, so let's just go with it. And I don't have my wet cloth, so I'm getting glue all over the outside of the guitar. Glue everywhere. Well, I guess that was a little too tight. I don't know how. Little snug. Well, this is just the way it goes some days, people. We obviously have a fracture here. This is what I was talking about on the earlier in the video, where I was mentioning that some of the angle. This takes a pretty steep dive right here. It's gonna have to do. Fit in there? Nope. I'm going to leave this part in because I had to struggle a bit with it. There was one of these. Where is it? Oh, okay, we're okay. I thought I had to pull it in tighter, so I got this other clamp. No, we're good. Okay. Don't worry about it. I got to get paper towel in that water I'm talking about. Okay, folks, just wanted to bring you back in here for a quick minute or two, just to say it's got the other side bound, the kerfed lining in. I did have a couple spots here where the little tight bend right on the end, and over here just in the middle of this radius didn't want to pull in, so I use these little clamps. That's it. So yeah, definitely thanks for tuning in and hanging with me through the end here. Yeah, thanks a lot, folks. Appreciate it.